viewers, greetings and welcome to this episode of Leadership Matters, a video series highlighting the stories and experiences of global leaders and providing leadership advice. The series is hosted by Avinash Ananda, a recognized leadership advisor, happiness strategist, and a motivational keynote speaker. Over the course of more than 30 years, Avinash has personally mentored more than 1,000 leaders and trainers and trained more than 1 million individuals from all walks of life in 30 countries. Our special guest for today's episode is Nikita Nanda, Vice President at Adfactors PR, where she is in charge of strategy and growth. Nikita has an MBA from IIM Kolkata and an undergraduate degree from Oxford Brookes University. Nikita has developed a successful career over the past 16 years because of a strong work ethic and conviction in the value of ongoing adjustment and improvement. She began her career in the UK at the Radisson Berkshire Hotel and later worked for a number of renowned companies, including IHCL and Golden Tulip Hospitality, before deciding to change directions and joining Value 360 Communications, where she discovered her passion for public relations and communications.
And we are back, dear viewers, for yet another episode of Leadership Matters. And this time, the super interesting leader who we have on board is Nikita. Hi, Nikita. How are you doing?
Hi, Avinash. Very well. How have you been?
Fantastic, fantastic. I'm sitting. I'm right now at the Taj in Pune, and we were just talking, guys, a few minutes before the recording started. And Taj is one of your clients. Is that correct?
Taj is one of my clients. Taj is one of the places where I started my career with. So very, very close to my heart. In fact, at Adfactors, fortunately, we handle the entire Tata mandate. Something to be proud of. And I was fortunate enough to meet Mr. Tata when I was interning actually at the Taj, and what a giant of a man he is. So much substance. Amazing. I think Tata as a brand is sort of something to be proud about for every Indian.
Absolutely, absolutely. I remember when I was in London and I saw the Indian flag outside the Tata, the Taj Hotel, and then I saw the British flag over there, and I saw the Indian flag higher than the British flag. I felt so happy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So many things came out just from this little conversation, Nikita. Like, for example, one thing that came out is you said you started your journey at the Taj. Then you said right now you're looking after the entire Tata group among several others. As viewers, you heard her profile just before we started, so you know that she heads the growth and strategy at Adfactors, the largest PR firm in India, PR marketing company. So what is it how did this journey go? How did you go from Taj as employee to Taj as client? I'm just giving Taj as an example, and that's one question that comes to mind. Answer whichever one you like. This is a free-flowing conversation. The second question that comes to mind, Nikita, is what made you wear the Taj? No, the Taj is the Sartaj, the crown. I'd love to know a little bit about your journey. Maybe the answer is the same. To where you are, where you're the princess wearing the crown as a leader.
So I'll give you a little bit of a background on myself. Please. So I'm extremely proud about the fact that I'm an army man's daughter, and my dad was in the army, and my mom's taught for like 35 years of her life, and we pretty much wherever we went got posted. So I think that sort of inculcated us in us kids very early on how important it is to sort of be a hustler in life, right? So the constant school changes and the postings sort of taught us to adjust the sails wherever we went. So I think that learning came on very early in life by accident and by lack of any other option. And that sort of influenced on, how I saw life, how I saw people. And that sort of dawned on me the importance of sort of making genuine connections to feel sort of secure, connected. And that really helps me, considering that I had growth and strategy. That really helps me in terms of networking. Just the fact that I've continued to sort of stay in touch with most of them. So for example, my first job was at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel in London.
Your education has been what? Not in PR, right? It's been in hospitality.
It's been in hospitality. So,
wow.
From Oxford Brookes University, which sort of helped me work in London. And I reached that at a very, very young age. I reached that at the age of 19, and I was an absolute rookie then. I was lucky to sort of get the support of colleagues, win a lot of, guest cards, etc. And I got recognized by Edwards, which at that time, and that also consecutively, which at that time was a huge deal in, getting an Edwardian was a huge deal, especially the fact that, I started out as sort of as an intern. And, for a student that never got more than a 78 percentile ever, I completed my graduation from Oxford Brookes University. I did my MBA from IIM Calcutta, and I'm with Adfactors. They sort of certified us with MICA as a digital expert. So my life journey's been, it's been a lot of hustling. It's been a lot of challenge. It's been a lot of excitement. Changing 5 jobs in various hotels before I sort of switched gears and, joined the world of communications at Valley 360. Been extremely fortunate to sort of, have been mentored by some of the best leaders in the industry. And now I have a very fulfilling job at Adfactors. So I think that's been my journey, with sort of who I was and how that sort of shaped me to sort of.
That's the outer journey. Huh? What's the inner journey been like? What have been the see, you say hustler, okay? But I see also 2 other H's. Like if you go H, huh? I see hustler, I see hard work, and I see happiness. Huh? And when I say happiness, I'm saying it's one of my favorite subjects. But I'm saying I see honesty. Maybe 4H, huh? Maybe 3H leading to 1H. Huh? Hustler, hard work, and honesty leading to happiness. I don't know if this works, but it is. You're in PR. Huh? PR is public relations, but PR in India is love. Huh? Is there a connection between marketing, public relations? Because all of these are packaging type of subjects. Huh? Whereas there is the honesty that I see in you, and authenticity that I see in you, okay, which is more about the product. So there's product and there's packaging. Is it important for a marketing person to be honest?
I think
is there a connection?
There is, absolutely, and also depends on what is it that you're selling, right? And you can tell when you're in a room and you're selling to a bunch of people. Everybody comes from different walks of life. They're all experienced folks. So it's very easy to sort of get caught. So it's always best to, while you package your product in a whichever manner, that you want to, I think what works best is being extremely realistic, because everybody appreciates somebody who calls a spade and, is honest.
Right.
It really helps in sort of building that connect rather than just it being sort of transactional. And that really helps. And just the fact that how do you sort of make everybody comfortable? And I think reading a room is extremely important. When you get in, that is something that I've learned over the years. Reading a room is so underrated, especially given that, we're constantly meeting and constantly pitching. So I'm in the job of constantly pitching to clients across different walks of life, right? Across different domains. Today I'm pitching to a EV client, studying for that. Tomorrow I'm pitching to perhaps like a consumer client or a D2C brand. Tomorrow I'm pitching to an educational university, right? So it's very, very important to sort of read the room. Because eventually the pitch will more or less sort of become, pretty much be the same.
Sure.
But it's also very, very important to sort of build that bridge with the client and, make them extremely comfortable. Help them talk more, understand, what their pain points are, and then sort of come back.
So your suggestion is. Right. Nikita, it's like I work with all kinds of people. So one of the type of people I work with is also doctors. And you reminded me of that just now in a very strange way. Doctors, when they just graduate from medical school, And if suppose there's a doctor, there's a patient who walks in, I guarantee you this, if it's the first patient, doctor is more nervous than the patient. Huh? This is the first time he's doing it. But over the years, 20 years later, as the patient walks in, he's already writing out the prescription, he knows everything. So there's what they call intuition, but they don't like calling it intuition, so they give it medical name, clinical acumen, they call it. So I see that you have over the years developed this intuitive ability to read the room and adapt your pitch according to that, which you value a lot. Is this can this be broken down into some steps that people can learn from? How do you read a room? How do you intuitively know what to change when situation is different?
So one is, and this is sort of like a hack that I use, is before entering a room, while, and everyone does their homework, but it's also extremely important to understand what is the pain point, right? Because not many a times people want to talk about that, or is the first thing that you sort of, it's only, after a couple of meetings that people start opening up.
Right,
I think that building that connect in a manner where you're able to listen more, absorb more, really helps in what is it that you're going to say next. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of slides, right? Anybody could do that, right? So,
right. Yeah, my mentor always used to say, Rishi Kumar Pandey, he said, those who use too much PowerPoint usually don't have much power and no point.
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. And that, I think that sort of helps with, how you lead teams, how intuitive you are about people. It really helps with connecting. And I think because we are in that job of communications, we always like to package everything really well. We like to package a crisis also really well, right? So it becomes extremely important. And I find I kind of really enjoy that aspect of getting to know people from different walks of life, understanding what they do, stay as relevant and stay extremely topical to what the current narrative is, right? So
where does your confidence come from?
We didn't have a lot of resources, right? When my dad was pretty much in the forces, it was mostly me, my brother, my mom. So we just had to, right? There was no other option. There was nothing to fall back on. There was no relatives. There was nothing to sort of. So we just had to, pick up our sails and sort of move wherever the wind took us and make the most of it, right? So I mean, I've studied in Tangdhar, and Sarmat would know where Tangdhar is, right?
Where is Tangdhar?
It's in Kashmir. Right? These are schools, the ventilators were blackened, right? Because of the whole, terrorist activity and all of that. So, and then to go to a very, to a leading school, to a leading university. So at that time, I remember I don't think my parents even had the funds to sort of send me. So it was a huge deal to sort of make it to an Oxford Brookes or even enter that campus for us. And we'd not imagine that in the wildest of dreams, right? Because how we're very extremely privileged. There are a lot of incentives, but there's no money.
Sure.
So I think that insecurity, that will to sort of learn and arrive in life early, I think that sort of got instilled with just the way we led our lives.
Lovely. I love this answer. See, I've got several different answers for where you get your confidence from, but this answer is like amazing. It's like I didn't have a choice.
Yeah, we had no choices. I mean, I remember watching. I remember when I was very young, trying to figure, because my brother was extremely like he was like a 92, 94%, and like I said, right, I was very happy 78%, because like I wanted to do debates and I want to do this and that, and the time left for studies was fairly limited. When I was very happy in this thing, and the only time I studied was when I saw that ad. I very clearly remember, it's etched in my memory. I saw an ad in the newspaper saying Oxford Brookes University. So if you do 12 months here and you're good, and if your percentile is something, and they send you to London to sort of, complete or, do your honors and all of that. And I was like, that's it. This is what I want to do.
And you were good. And you were good at
And
this.
I got through. I think I manifested it. I got through.
Wow.
It was the only time I think I really studied to sort of crack that. And and I think just so when you're here and you have these beautiful dreams, and when you arrive and you realize you're a nobody, and when you literally see the cost of a sandwich, and then you compare it with, and that time I think pounds was 80 rupees. So I multiply everything with 80 rupees and be like, oh my God, the sandwich cost $1,000. So it's been a journey, but I think that sort of really paved the way.
So you're the one, Nikita, who brings in the money.
Yes.
From there to counting the price of a sandwich to now raking in all the inflow for one of the biggest companies. Amazing, absolutely amazing journey. Tell me, what is it you learned from your parents, army man and teacher, which you are now? You are a parent.
Yes, I am. I'm a parent
Have
of
you
a 6-year-old daughter.
6-year-old daughter? What's her name?
Ziva.
What does Ziva mean?
Ziva means radiance in Hebrew.
Wow, that's beautiful. May God bless Ziva and Ziva spread all over the world.
Yes.
Tell me, Nikita, what is it that you as a parent are giving Ziva, which you got from your parents, or what is it different that you're doing? A little bit about parenting, and is parenting connected with leadership in any way?
100%. 100%.
How?
So, and I'll say your first question. So, how I'm parenting Ziva is, for me, it's extremely, extremely important, more than academics, her being extremely confident, her being extremely street smart, because I think that takes you further in the journey than, than being a perfectionist on paper. Right. And these are some of the softer traits that I don't think academics teaches you. So I think for me, her overall development as an individual is extremely important. Her being empathetic to people who come from different walks of life. Because today she's the kind of privilege that she sees is very different to the kind of privilege we had, right? So I think mine was much richer, maybe not in material, maybe not in the material sense, but just in the way it sort of shaped us as individuals. I think the generation today is fairly much more cushioned. Also with so much of tech and chat GPT and 100 other things, to your this thing. So I think.
So you feel, Nikita, you feel that today's generation needs to get that additional dose of reality or a little bit of toughening up, because that's what they're going to face anyway. They're going to face that anyway. So it should be given at home a little bit.
I firmly believe that, because I think the way social media has blinded us with the version of reality that social media throws at us and the version of reality that is actually true is very different. The way they see life, and just the way things are. So I think it's extremely important for us. It came much later, right? When, thank God, it wasn't there when I was in school. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have gotten the 78% that I got, back in the day. But I think it's much tougher for them. Just to not be distracted is extremely tough. For the generation these days, it's so tough.
Amazing. What did you get from your parents? You got discipline from the army, and you got the dedication or wanting to learn or teach from the teacher?
I was very clear. I was very clear that I wanted to make a lot of money very early. And I'm being very honest.
I'm happy.
Yeah. And I think I manifested that, and I worked my way towards it.
I love this. I love this. Viewers, please listen to this one. Huh? This is crazy. Conventionally, a person would say, army, father, I learned discipline. Mother, I learned teacher, I learned the value of education. Huh? This one says, and it's refreshing honesty. Huh? Army, teacher, no money, I wanted money.
Yeah, that was very clear. Very, very clear that I wanted to make, and not, I knew I'd make money, but I wanted to make money very early.
Sure,
So
sure,
I think that goal setting that I today, I mean, if I don't know what I'm doing in the day,
sure.
I get very hassled. Like I need to my checklist in life. Like I needed to have a house at the age of 30. I needed to do
So
this.
now what? Now what, Nikita? You got so much, right? You achieved. Huh? What are you still hustling for? Are you still hustling?
100%. I'm very
What
young.
is what is
100%.
next?
Um,
And you always remain young, but what's next?
so what next is probably, so I'm very certain that
Next is would basically be higher goals, right?
yes. So higher
Okay,
goals
got it.
in terms of professionally, it'll definitely be like a global role
Sure,
uh,
sure,
that,
sure.
that involves travel. It involves.
You
Um,
like travel?
I absolutely live for travel.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
I'm in a different country every 4 or 5 days.
that's gorgeous. I
My
think
life is crazy.
yeah. Nothing teaches you more than different cultures and different
That
people.
is true. That is true.
I
That
think
is
it's
true.
the richest experience you can give yourself or your kids or whoever else.
What factor does fear play in success?
Huge. I think being insecure really helps you collect everything that you have and run faster.
Uh-huh. So
So,
what about pain?
I mean, depends what your version of pain is.
Yeah, you tell me
Uh,
whatever you feel.
uh, I think I think it's very important it, as part of learning. The more you fall, the faster you learn in terms of
So do you
experience.
give pain and do you give fear as a leader to some people to get them to realize something?
Not at all. Not at all. And that's
Thank
not
God.
my way of
Okay.
leadership at all. I think
Okay.
that is essentially the difference between a boss and a leader.
Right.
Right? A
Beautiful.
leader is somebody who you want to sort of follow willingly,
Sure. Sure.
and a boss is somebody you follow out of fear. And I
Brilliant.
think that's extremely temporary.
Right.
And like I said, right, I've been very, very fortunate to have the best mentors that I could possibly think of, right
Sure.
from my hospitality days to college to, value to Adfactors. The people that I've worked with are absolute visionaries. The way they've mentored me, and that helps me lead the team that I have.
Sure.
Um, I mean, I've people who have worked with 10 years back, want to come back and work for me. I think that is the biggest achievement that you can have more than appraisals and more than anything else. Just the fact that you willingly have people follow you than rather than out of fear and what I would
Sure.
say and all of
Sure.
that. That is
Brilliant.
the main difference.
Nikita, one more question, please, about preparation, about homework. You is that's important to you before you go into a meeting, and that's important to you also. How important is knowledge and continuous learning? What role does that play?
So knowledge, honestly, is everything. Interestingly, the tagline that Adfactors has is knowledge-driven communications.
Oh, wow,
Yeah. So
nice.
I think one of the things that we do differently here is just the fact that uh, it's a very intelligent way of pitching, of
Hmm,
educating a client
hmm.
and creating that need,
Yeah, yeah,
for a particular service. Um, and today, luckily, there are so many tools, whichever, however, the amount of time that you want to give to a particular subject.
right,
Um, like these days, I use ChatGPT to, do a lot of stuff. Like tomorrow, if you're going for a panel, and you can easily use ChatGPT to frame answers and frame a bunch of stuff. Right? I mean, it's just become so much more easier than it was back in the day to be well read. By following a certain bunch of ambitious, like-minded pages on Instagram, you can educate yourself. So it really depends on how you want to learn in life and how further are you willing to go. I mean, you could be if you as a habit you spend a certain amount of time on a particular social media or wherever else, right? Utilize it for learning.
Right.
It's so important to be perceived at least and know your basics before you enter a room. Otherwise, I don't think you can go very far, or because it's very easy to pick up on faff and all of that.
That's true. Very true. Brilliant. Nikita, I got something, okay, that formed in my head. Apart from the first few things that we spoke about in terms of lessons from you, the H's, you remember the H's we spoke about? We spoke about hard work, we spoke about honesty, we spoke about hustling, we spoke about what else? There's an element of humor also. In when you talk, you're able to go deep into a subject as well as you're able to keep on the surface and just move on.
Humor
to the
is
next.
So important to build a connect.
Yeah,
it's so important to make somebody feel comfortable. If you can't enter a room and bring a smile to someone's face, then it's really not
absolutely
worth it.
Right. Huh? So in the H, you added one more homework, so you have so many H's. This was one. The other thing, if you remember, we got out a very important thing, that sometimes when you have no option, you better have confidence. I love that line. What a beautiful message. I love it. It's absolutely uniquely different, So I put together something, Nikita, which is with your name. Nikita. Is that how you spell it?
That's right.
So you want to write it down? It's very interesting, huh? This is describing you and possibly some messages for others, but more describing you, I think. So the N is for networker.
Okay.
It's amazing the way you keep in touch. Your beginning of your journey, as well as the somewhere a little along your journey, which is now, because you have a long way to go. As you said, you're very young yet. So, for example, the Taj Connect, or the people who mentored you, you've been in touch with them. People who you connected with, you're still connected with. So this networking is an amazing quality. So I would say networker, that would be one. The second, and then the next one, I would say I is for insight. You don't look at the surface, you go deep. You read the person, you read the body language, you read what they're saying, you read what they're not saying. Your insight gives you a foresight as to what to do next. Your insight is not only focused, but it's also got peripheral vision. You're able to see everything happening around you. You quickly connect the dots, fit in the entire thing, and then you talk, which makes you uniquely different from any chat GPT or any other technology that could ever come in, or PowerPoint, okay? Insight. Then K is for knowledge. Knowledge seeker, knowledge sharer, and knowledge, I would say knowledge with speed. I love the way speed, time is a factor that comes into everything for you. This is something I noticed, that when I'm talking to you about knowledge, you're talking about speed. You're saying key knowledge, so no, but let's see with AI, how can I get it with more speed? What can I do with the knowledge with speed? How can I implement it? So it's brilliant. Okay? It's not just accumulation of knowledge, it's application of knowledge, which makes the knowledge wisdom. That is K, knowledge oriented. I got a little stuck. You need to help me a little bit here, please. I was thinking invincible, like unshakable.
So finally, now that you say it, back in the day, when Hotmail was a thing and Sabir Bhatia was a thing, my Hotmail ID was invincible_Nikki@hotmail.com.
Look at this. This is amazing. Huh? You could go with another I, which is intuitive. I don't know which one. I like invincible. Invincible came to me immediately. Invincible came to me intuitively. But intuitive could be one. Innovative could be another one. That you're always trying new things. And another I that came to me was inclusive. What you're teaching, Ziva.
Absolutely.
That is about being inclusive. Don't even though you have privileges, don't look at yourself as higher or lower than anybody
Yes.
else.
Yes.
Brilliant. And you also include people, right? You don't talk down to anybody, nor do you think anybody is greater than you.
Can't go far in life by talking down on anyone.
And also, you can't go far in life by thinking of yourself any less than anyone.
That's true. That's
Right?
also, yes.
You can walk into a room, doesn't matter who the person is. If you're a hustler, you'll do your thing, right?
Yes.
So that is the I part of it. Huh? T, I would say, is target oriented. Huh? And
My
here
job is
comes,
all about targets.
I
My
know,
life is about targets.
yeah, so that you're so perfectly, your DNA is intricately aligned with your job. Huh?
Yes. Correct. Correct. Yes.
But that is also a danger sign, huh? Because this hungry target oriented machine is to keep being fed all the time, huh? Not dangerous for others. Your employers will always be very happy. For yourself, in terms of your stress levels, you should learn to chill. But T is target oriented.
Mm.
I love the way that you don't want to study, but when you see a target,
Yeah. It's a blind
chalo.
chase. It's a blind chase. If I have fixed my vision on something, that is it.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's like adding this powerful engine to anything that you want. Huh? The powerful engine is already ready. You just need
And
to
I
decide
love the
what.
fact that you used the word manifested earlier in the conversation, because
Yeah,
I think my life is like I told you, right? I was so clear that this is not what I want to do
right.
and where I want to be.
Yeah,
I think I manifested everything, and till date,
brilliant,
I've been extremely lucky to.
brilliant.
Yeah.
So, I worked with. I went because I wanted to see what's happening in my field. So I went and met. I went for Tony Robbins thing. I went to Jack. I met Jack Canfield. Jack Canfield was in The Secret. Yeah, the
Yes.
book and
Yes.
on
Yes. Yes.
manifestation. And
Yeah.
I strongly believe this, that your manifestation is not just your thinking about what you want, but aligning your thinking, believing. The manifestation is ask, believe, receive.
I think more than anything, just believing it is absolutely.
But that's the core. But I'm
Yeah.
saying there's a lot of effort you put in, Nikita, after that.
Right.
There are a lot of things you have done right. So if there's wanting, feeling, thinking, saying, doing, your wanting has come from your feeling, which is belief, but you have done the rest also. You're an excellent communicator. You have done the hard work. You hustle. You don't give up. You don't see things as failure. All these things are also very important, because just by believing it is not good enough, but believing is the base. Huh?
Correct.
Right? You've done a lot of good things. You've worked on your talent. Huh? So that's a message also for people, guys. Not just believe. Start with belief, but go on to please develop yourself.
Yes.
As much as Nikita dismisses traditional what do you say, titles, or paper degrees or whatever, she's actually a learner. Huh? Because you cannot hustle without learning. Lovely.
Yes,
And
that's true.
the A is agility or adaptiveness.
Adaptiveness, yeah.
Adaptiveness.
That's by default.
Yeah, but it's there. Huh? The other people who don't have it by default have to develop it, because the world is changing so fast. But for you, your everyday's clients are changing so fast. Huh?
Correct.
Okay? So you have to be adaptive to be able to connect with people immediately. Okay?
Absolutely.
How do you like Nikita?
Sorry?
How do you like Nikita?
I love it.
Acronym.
I love it. I think
Acronym, yeah?
it's banging. It's banging to my personality. And I think just the fact that you're a coach, now I see why you do what you do.
Right, good. Right.
Yeah.
Been doing it for 30 years.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah, nice. Super, Nikita. Anything else you'd like to share? What is your message that you want to ziva around the world? I mean, radiate around the world. Huh? Well, and anything that comes to your mind that you'd like to, that some of your core beliefs.
I think as a leader, it's very important to show the way.
Sure.
To the people, to your clients, to, as a mother, as a wife, all of that. I think for
Super.
Ziva, what's for me, what was my biggest learning is that my mother consistently for 35 years without complaining, went to her school every day, came back, did her thing, like attended to us as she managed us all without her partner being there, for a larger part of the year. So I think that consistency and that will to sort of manage everything with a smile on your face.
Where does it come from?
That's where it comes from.
Where?
It comes from my parents.
No. Well, that will, if that will to consistently do something with a smile on your face, despite personal rewards, where does that feeling, where does it come from? For you, it came from your parents. That's great, but where does that thing? Suppose somebody wants to develop that. How do I go through life with a smile on my face, despite whatever is happening, and keep giving?
You have to stop seeing. First of all, I hate the term failure, but you have to stop seeing any setback as failure. It has to be learning.
Super. Nikita, this is brilliant what you just shared. I would say one more place it comes from is where it came from for your mother, which is love. When either you love the people or you love the project or you're passionate about what you're doing, I think that
she could have just complained about her life, right?
That's right. Absolutely.
We could have complained about anything and everything, and we could have probably got that. But I don't remember once ever see them complain about anything. So I think that really is important.
I think that's fantastic, huh? So we have leader. The last two messages from Nikita for this time, huh? More later from her. Leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Okay, that was one message from her. Second message is leadership is like motherhood. When a mother has a child, my mother's, some people say it's a 20-year project. My mother says it's a lifelong project.
Lifelong project, absolutely.
So when you have a project, when you have a duty, don't do it like a duty. Do it with love. Do it with excellence.
Anything.
And you will succeed. That's great.
I think even if I start loving this, and I feel that this is what gives me strength, then it'll start giving me strength.
Brilliant. That's the power of the mind. Lovely talking with you, Nikita. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you, Avinash.
Bye-bye. See you. Take care.